Hello gamers, welcome to Table Talk. Today we're going to talk about how to play 10. Ten is an exciting push your luck and auction game, fun for the whole family. The goal of 10 is to complete sequential numerical runs of cards of each of the 4 colors. First, let's begin with setup. To first set up the game, you're going to take cards and add them or subtract them from the deck. As you can see here, there are some symbols to help you indicate which card you'll need. The cards without symbols in the corner will be played with in every game. If you have 3 or more players, you'll use the cards with the 3 square symbols in the corner. If you have 4 or more players, then you'll have essentially all the cards. Make sure you have these cards in as well. Once you have shuffled the deck for all the cards that you'll need, in this case we have set up for 4 players, the reference cards that they give you in this game, one of them does have a first player marker, so you're going to shuffle these up and deal them to players so that you will determine who is first player. So you shuffle them up, and for the sake of argument, I will be start player. And then give everyone 5 of these black tokens. These tokens represent currency throughout the game, and you have a hand limit of 10 of these tokens. Once you have your 5 tokens, everyone has a reference card, and the deck has been shuffled based on player count, then we're ready to start the game. Before I show you how to play, let's go over the different card types. There are number cards of 4 different colors, numbering 1 through 9. As you can see here, we have a green 6, pink 8, a blue 4, and orange 1. So you have your number cards. Next, we'll go over that there are wild cards of 2 varying types. You have the cards of a particular color, but they can be any number. So this can be any number between 1 and 9, and it can be decided at the end of the game. Same thing with this one, except this one has to be an 8, but it can be any color it needs to be. Can be decided at the end of the game. The last type of card is the currency cards. These cards have a particular number of chips on them, ranging from 1 to 5. Now, let's talk about how to actually play the game. Once the deck has been shuffled, on your turn, what you're going to do is flip over a card and decide to either stop or keep going. If you decide to keep going and flip over a currency card, the currency cards will deduct the current total on the board. So first card was a 4. By flipping a 2 currency, I will reduce it down to a 2. Now if I keep going, I now have a total of 3. If I continue to go and a wild happens to pop up, what will then happen, the game will pause and everyone going around the table, starting with the player to my left, will place a single bid on the wild card. Using their tokens, each card can be used as a currency of 1 if you have duplicates, or if you just see a card that you don't think you'll need for the rest of the game because you don't think you'll be able to get a sequence, or any white chips. Any white chips are worth 3 and do not count against the 10 total, but we'll get to exactly how you'll get these white chips in a minute. First, I'll explain the bidding. So each player will get 1 bid. Let's say the player to my left bids 3. The player in front of me bids 4. The player to my right, let's say he decides to pass because he doesn't want this card. Now, if I want it, I have to bid 5 monies or tokens if I choose to take it, and outbid my opponent who bid 4. Or I can pass and let him have it. The person who bid 3 can no longer essentially have it, as he was outbid. Let's say I want it, so I will bid 5 tokens. I have the highest bid, and I'm the one who drew it, so I had the last bid. I receive it because I bid the most. And since it's my turn, after the bidding phase, I can continue to go or stop. If I stop, I have the choice of taking the numbers or the currency. If I take the numbers, then they become part of my tableau and my collection that I'm trying to complete my sets. And the currency, everybody else will be allowed to take 2 currency from the supply, assuming they have not reached their limit of 10. If they have 10, then they cannot collect any. If they have 9, then they can get 1 and max out at 10. If I decide to take the currency cards, I can get 2 currency, and the number cards will go into a market, which, assuming you do not bust, you will be able to buy from if you stop and take numbers. But let's say I continue to keep going. Oh, it's an 8. That's a bust, because I have more than 10. That should be 11, if I'm not mistaken. So I exceeded the number of 10 in a sum total of on the board. I will receive the white token as a bust. Everybody will receive the currency anyway, and these cards will go into the market. Now, there are 2 different ways of busting. That was one. Now, as an alternative, if I flip over enough of the currency cards where the currency itself adds up to a total of more than 10, then I will also bust, and I will still get a white token. However, no one else will get the currency, and the number cards will still go to market. That's how you would get these white tokens, as I mentioned before. I did mention a market, so let's say that people have bust before me, and these cards were out in the market. So they're not part of my round. I decided to flip, and I decided to stop. Then I could take this, and then I can go to market. To go to market, all you have to do is pay for the card you want. The cost of the card is based on its face value. So this card would be 1, this card would be worth 6, and this card would cost 8. If I want any of those cards, those are the prices that I would have to pay to get them. I decide I don't want any of them. And then play would continue to the player to my left. And the game will continue until the entire deck has been emptied and played. Now, once the game is over, the way scoring would work is your largest sequence of numbers in each color. So for example, if this 3-4 is what I end with, and this is my longest sequence in blue, then I will get 2 points. If I end the game with something that looks like this for my pink, I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, which is my longest string in pink. I would get 4 points for this. This 8 would not be connected in my consecutive run, so it's worth nothing. And I would do the same for orange and green. Once everyone has calculated their scores, the highest score will win. I will mention, if you collect 1 to 9 in a single color, you will also be awarded a bonus point. So instead of 9 points, it will be worth 10 points. And if players tie, it's the person who has the most currency in tokens. If there's still a tie, it's the person who has the fewest cards in total, including the ones that didn't get you any points. If there's still a tie after that, then they share the tie. And that's how you play 10.